People often say like, well, if you're having sex, like, why was it a surprise? That's like saying like, why were you shocked that you got in a car accident and you drive every day? It's still something unexpected. It's not something I was looking for. My name is Lyrissa and I am a baby mom. So I found out I was pregnant 1 month after I got married. I was 22 years old, about to be 23. I felt emotions of sadness. I was very sad. I was not excited. It definitely caught me off guard. And 4 to 5 weeks before we found out we was pregnant, we agreed that we would like try to start on our family 5 years into the marriage. So when I found out I was pregnant, I was scared. I was nervous. Happiness definitely wasn't the first emotion. Of course, the first person I told was my mom. I feel like she was like in the middle of happy but nervous, like, is my baby ready? I was living in Chicago for probably about 2 years. I was in the midst of trying to get back into nursing school after I moved to Chicago, and I'm working at Sprint. I had become a CNA. Then COVID hit, and my professor at the time was just like, I don't recommend you working in the medical field knowing that you're pregnant with just like trajectory like COVID was on. So I felt like this baby is just throwing off my life. Just got married. We're still in the midst of getting to know each other, like married wise. But now, like, you know, the focus shifts from being married to baby, and that threw off everything. That threw me off financially, emotionally. He wasn't in the plan at all. My son name is Amir Kai. My baby's 3.5. When you think of a happy thought throughout the day and you catch yourself smiling or blushing, that's how, for me, it feels having a 3.5-year-old. Everything he does for the most part brings me happiness. On the other side, it's tough being able to navigate trying to break those generational curses and not just go off on him and just really hear him out and just say, okay, I'm listening, mommy's listening, express yourself. They're really just little people with big personalities. I had the most beautiful pregnancy ever, not to brag. He was such a good baby. I would pay to be pregnant any day again. I didn't have any issues. So I had a home birth. I had a pool. 0 out of 10. I definitely wouldn't recommend. I didn't like it because I was big and the little chair in the pool wasn't big enough for my butt. So I kept sliding off, and it's nothing worse than being big, pregnant, in labor, and slipping. So my doula is who delivered my baby. My midwife lived in Indiana and she wasn't able to get there in time. That was my doula's first time delivering a baby on her own. But my doula was and is the most wholesome person I've ever met. And we developed a very strong relationship throughout the pregnancy. We've been together from the time I found out I was pregnant till I had him. And when it was time to give birth, I got into the pool. His dad was nothing short of amazing. I'll be very honest. You can never stop loving somebody who supported you that much through labor. I feel like it was such like a spiritual interaction, like just with me, myself, God, and the universe. Like I just felt like pregnancy gives you like a power, a strength that no other day you would think you have it in you until you give birth. I just stopped breastfeeding. So I always wanted to breastfeed. When it was time for him to feed, I couldn't produce. So that like took a toll on me. And then my doula, she added somebody else on my birth team, which was a lactation consultant. She came over a day and was just like, all right, cool, this is what we're gonna do. He was able to latch longer because the issue wasn't that I wasn't producing, but he wasn't latching as long. And then girl, I got an infection. I got mastitis in one of my boobs. It was so horrible. I couldn't walk, damn near couldn't talk. I had a fever. I couldn't take showers because like I would legit lose my balance and damn near fall. Breastfeeding was tough. I was breastfeeding for 3 years, but the journey was tough. My nipples looked like ground meat. Okay, they were bleeding. Breastfeeding itself too, that was a spiritual journey in itself. It's such a beautiful experience, and I wish it for any mom. At the lowest part of like my postpartum depression, because yeah, I went through it, I was 99 pounds. There was just so much. You say like you're not ready before you have a baby, and just because you had the baby, you don't just become ready. It's easy to carry a baby in you, but to have this child here is like make sure they don't die, keep you alive, like, feed you when you need to be fed. It's like, this ain't Tamagotchi. Like, this is real. They don't have lives. Is one of you done? I think that we already know that it's expected for some women to have postpartum depression, but I don't think a lot of people highlight how men can also experience it. We truly were like scared to our core about starting a family way earlier than we were ready to. I'm happy I took the pictures and videos I did, because I feel like sometimes those pictures and videos are the only memory I have. Because if I was to rely on my own memory, I feel like sometimes I don't recall enough, because at that moment I was just in a trance. I literally was just trying to keep myself alive enough to keep him alive. Sometimes it'd be easy for the kid to make it, but people don't be knowing that you be struggling to make it too. Motherhood has taught me to heal yourself, not with the idea of for this person or for a spouse, a child, a family member. Heal yourself, because it's much harder to try to heal yourself while trying to raise someone else. And humility, having him humbled me a lot. So heal yourself and humble yourself. I feel like up until you have a child, people still see you as like the baby of the family, like but when you have a child, it's like, nah, I'm making decisions now. I'm the captain here. Everybody wants to tell you, no, you're supposed to do this. I get it. I'm happy that you did it. That's how you did it when I was growing up. But I want to try a little bit different. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll give yours a try. I know I might look young in the face, but I get breathe. I get ranks now. I can make decisions. You know what I mean? Like, don't play with me.